Hello and welcome to the first weather video of November. You see high clouds streaming in. Pretty fair weekend. Did have some clouds. I mean, today we had mostly sunny skies. So today we had, yesterday we had a lot of jet junk in the sky, and but today was pretty nice. Though warmer, that's for sure, warmer than normal. Before I proceed and talk about today's weather, let's just go over November's weather. I meant October's weather. This is the October weather summary. For Islip, our average maximum was 66.5, normal 64.1, 2.4 degrees above normal there. Average minimum 50.2. The normal is supposed to be 47.3. That's 2.9 degrees above normal. And for the mean, 58.4. That is the normal is supposed to be 55.7, so 2.7 degrees above normal. Another month above normal. That's quite a bit above normal, more than Central Park. Precipitation, rainfall for the month actually turned out to be above normal. 5.06 inches of rain at Islip. That's above the normal of 3.97. So finally seeing some above normal precipitation, which is definitely helpful for the drought. And hopefully when the next time the drought monitor gets released, hopefully we'll be out of the moderate drought. We'll just look at some other observation sites here for the monthly weather summary, if we can. If it doesn't want to, here we go. So JFK, not as dramatically above normal. Very interesting how Long Island was more above normal than places further to the west. JFK was only about 1.3 degrees above normal for the month. Precipitation, 3.99. That's fairly close to normal of 3.72. We'll look at Central Park next. Central Park was also about just 0.6 degrees above normal. So you can see how the departure from normal kind of goes down as you're heading west. But we'll see if that holds true for Newark. I have a feeling it won't. Let's see. Newark was 1.8 degrees above normal for the month. So, but generally speaking, I think the bigger anomalies were to the east. Let's see, Bridgeport, not really above normal. So Islip really, Long Island really being the really above normal spot for whatever reason. And I'm thinking it's probably because we had a lot of nights with clouds, which kept the temperatures up and kept the radiational cooling away, which kept the temperatures above normal. So see a lot of the wind and the clouds that we had when we should have had radiational cooling. Possibly a couple of theories, but at least we are doing better with the rainfall amounts. And Central Park was, I think, fairly close to normal rainfall, 4.08, a little bit below normal. Normal is 4.38. So getting back to today's weather, today was, I'll show you where I was out in the pines for a little bit. This was by Edgewood Preserve. See some nice pines there and blue sky. So we have some blue sky today. Some scattered jet junk, but not too bad. Still see some color, and tonight definitely see that cirrus streaming in. This is at Lynbrook. So anyway, let's go take a look at our current conditions outside right now. And you'll see here that temperature is 47 degrees, not quite as cold as it was last night. Now, last night was quite chilly. We'll go look at the lows. We got down to 27 at West Hampton, 37 at Islip, 32 at Shirley, at the airport, Shirley Brookhaven Airport, 39 at JFK, 46 at LaGuardia, which is probably what my alley got down to. I didn't look at the thermometer, so 28 degrees was the low at in the Miller Air Park. So yeah, the radiational cooling was the air felt pretty chilly last night, even through the alley. So it might have been 30s, very well might have been, without the thermometer. The battery went in it again, so I got. Let's go look at the highs today. It was pretty warm today, though, low 60s, so definitely a little bit above normal for highs. Let's go take a look at what we have here for highs and lows for Islip. So high 61 at Islip, 3 degrees above normal, a low of 37, 5 degrees below normal. Putting us close to normal for the day. A pretty pleasant day all in all. Let's go to the CONUS satellite so we can take a larger look at what's going on. So So let's go take a look at that. If it'll load or not. I don't know if it will. It feels like being slow tonight. Be nice if it would load. Would be nice. No, not going to look at that yet. Oh, so it appears we might have lost the connection to the satellite imagery. Okay. Well, you see this here. This is a low that will be moving offshore. So, whatever reason, we can't load the satellite. I don't know why. Oh, there it goes. Finally, took a while. Oh, there's some tropical. There's something tropical over here. It looks like. Let's see if there are any storms here. Not listing any storms, but you see, there's this little low here, which might bring us a chance for some light shower activities. So, eastern Long Island. Here's the cold front right here. You can start to see coming down. That's going to bring in cooler weather. Yeah, let me go to the NHC and see if they're watching that area, because that looks nothing. It's interesting because it looks like an area of tropical development to me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, things have gotten very, very slow. I don't know. It's like I can't seem to load certain sites. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the computer. I don't know if it's them. I don't know what it is. Well, anyway, yeah, we're having some issues. But this area right here looks like an area of development. There's some type of depression or something developing here. There's some lightning, too, with this. So this looks like an area of development. I don't know why it's not being watched by the Hurricane Center. But we are in a government shutdown crisis courtesy of the White House and all that other stuff. So, we all know how I feel about that. So, no sense talking about that here. You all know how I feel. So, let's go to the current storms. Let's see if we have. I don't have anything here. I don't have anything on that interesting. That is a disturbance of something. Is it this? No, it's another area. No, that's not it either. So, yeah, it's very interesting. But again, these are the times we're living in, folks. So let's go to the North American view, the European. And we'll take a look at our jet stream here. Got the 18Z European. I'll use the 12Z models in this particular video here. So let's go here, take a look at the 250 MB winds. So here we go. So you can see there the jet stream, right? And you can sort of see there's some troughs that come through. There's a little trough that comes through on Thursday. And then it really starts getting amplified as we get toward the middle of the month. Here's a much bigger trough. So these are some opportunities for some colder air. Jet stream sort of goes crazy there a little bit there. The cutoff low and in Canada. So, but generally speaking, and no, I'm not going to look at the GFS because the GFS has been pretty bad lately. So, let's go look at the. I mean, I could look at the GFS, but honestly, it's been pretty bad. We'll look at some of it, all right? But anyway, you can see here that little troughing there. There's that little low that moves offshore. There's a trough that comes through, brings a cold front through. And then we have another trough coming through, bringing another batch of cooler air. And then a much deeper one as we get toward the middle of it's a week from this Tuesday. It's going to be a much deeper trough. And you can see some really strong blocking there in Greenland, which to me signals a quite below normal temperature pattern regime with that particular type of setup. And let's see if this actually reflects what's going on here with the temperature anomalies. All right, so nothing crazy, but then as we get toward next week, you'd see that cold air there, that real upside down pattern again. But you can see that cold air really coming down there, and that is going to be a nice shot of some really chilly air as we get toward the middle of next week, for sure. And we can look at the GFS and see if the GFS has it too, and I'll just go here and just go with upper air here. Let's see if the GFS has it too. See if there are any differences here. GFS is shaped a little differently, but it does have it as well. So definitely is going to be a plunge of some cold air as we get into next week. So let's take a closer look at the CONUS and look at the surface here. So as we get into tomorrow, you'll see there's a little system offshore, and most of that rain is going to go to our east. Could be a slight chance of a shower tomorrow afternoon, I would think. That moves to the east. High pressure builds in. Going to be a little breezy on Tuesday. See the isobar is a little crunched there. And Wednesday we get another system, another cold front coming through. Another blustery, breezy kind of day on Thursday. Oh, that's right. I'm looking at the 18Z. And then going beyond that, another front comes through Friday night to Saturday. And then another front comes through. And this one on Sunday is going to be the one that's going to usher in the much colder air here. Look at that. It's actually developing ocean effect showers. That that's cold air. That's going to be a plunge of some pretty chilly air, wintry air almost, that we're going to be dealing with next week for sure. So that's what it looks like right now. Let's go and take a look more at the short range. While we're in the long range, I'll do this first already. So here's your 6 to 10 day outlook. They have a slight chance of above normal precipitation for us, fairly close to near normal, with the above normal out in the west. And then 8 to 14 day, there's that below normal chances of rain, temperatures as we get toward that next week time frame. So you may have to shade that a little more. You can see the above normal. The ridge seems to be in the middle of the country, and below normal precipitation. So now I'll go look at the HRRR. So here we go on the HRRR, and here's this. This system here, and you can see most of it stays to the east. Could be a slight chance of some light rain showers in the afternoon, and then that kind of fades away. And then there's a little front that comes through in the evening around 8 o'clock or so. Remember, we are an hour earlier now. We're on daylight. I know I didn't mention that last time, but everybody else does. So we're on the standard time now. No more daylight time. So that's why at least it works out. We get our model sooner. But you can see isobars are kind of tight on Tuesday. So things could be breezy that day. Could look at the skies and see what we have here. We should have sunshine, though. It does show some pop-up cloudiness we might have to deal with on Tuesday. Might be clear earlier, and then you might have that pop-up cloudiness, perhaps. That's kind of hard to predict, as you know. But 18Z is now 1 o'clock, not 2 o'clock. So I'll have to see how that all works on Tuesday. So let's go to the dew points and wind flow here. So see, there's a little bit, the wind shift a little more subtly, so we see a little bit of a rise in dew points tomorrow, nothing that much. It's not a whole lot of moisture to work with, and then the drier air comes back in, and then we got that blustery conditions on Tuesday with, again, you got the dew points there in the 30s. So breezy, dry day. Here we go with the temperature. Here we go with the temperatures tonight. Not as cold as last night, probably low 40s, and then as you go into tomorrow, the cloud cover will probably keep the temperatures down, probably close to 60, but not quite there. And then as we get into Tuesday, starting off Tuesday in the low 40s, and then we see highs for your election day. It'll be a breezy election day, but highs probably 55 to 60. So it won't be all that cold, but it'll be feeling kind of blustery because of the wind, obviously. Let's go look at the skies. Use the RGEM for that. So here's tomorrow. Obviously, there'll be a lot of clouds around. They'll tend to clear out toward the evening. And then for Tuesday, mostly sunny, though there could be increasing clouds toward the afternoon. There's a chance that there could be increasing clouds toward the afternoon. You got to remember, the afternoons now, it's started. Now the afternoons are cut much shorter. So if you do hiking like I like to do, you have to get it in earlier now. And then you're kind of going to pretty much be done by like 2 because the sun starts getting lower in the sky. Anyway, you'll see as we get into Wednesday, there's some high clouds that come in and streaming up, and that's as far as we got on the RGEM as far as cloud cover goes. We'll look at the GFS. Good look at that. Here's the GFS. So again, starting off, but we'll have to watch for those increasing clouds later in the afternoon, perhaps. And then Wednesday, still be sun and high clouds. And Thursday, we should have plenty of sunshine. It'll be breezy. And then going beyond that, I really don't use any sky models. I mean, we're a week away now here, so I'm not going to go any more than that. But what we will do is look at the European and take a look at how our air masses will be changing. So on Wednesday, you start seeing that southwesterly flow again coming up, and then another breezy day on Thursday. See those dew points dropping, all right? And then we see another front come through on Sunday, and this is the one that's going to notice how much lower the dew points are this time. So you can see this is this air is definitely a more polar origin, and dew points could drop as low as the teens, perhaps, in this air mass. And air temperatures, we're going to be struggling to get to the 40s on next Tuesday. Not this coming Tuesday, but next Tuesday we could be struggling to make it to the mid-40s. So it's going to be some really cold winter-like weather into next week. Definitely a nice shot of some winter-like weather. And then Friday, you can see, though, as we get to Friday, it's mild. Weekend, so actually Saturday could really warm up ahead of that winter-like weather. And then Thursday, we got temperatures a little bit cooler. Again, 50s probably for highs. Mid-50s probably will do it for the highs. So the next thing we'll take a look at is wind. And we'll just go to the windy.com model, I think, at this point. And we'll go to wind gusts because we obviously going to have some windy conditions as we get into, not so much tomorrow, but as we get into tomorrow night and Wednesday and Tuesday. Not wind advisory, not quite enough for wind advisory, but wind could gust up as high as 35, maybe even 40 miles an hour by the water, perhaps on Tuesday, and then we see the winds pick up again on Wednesday. Again, not quite, just shy of the wind advisory criteria probably, and then Thursday we'll see those winds again, but again 30 to 40. It'll be breezy, but it won't be to the point of having a wind advisory. So I don't think we'll need to worry about any wind advisories as far as damaging wind, but there will be wind, so it's going to blow leaves around and things like that. So lastly, let's go and look at the ice. So usually do that the first of the month. And obviously we're not getting a update because we're not getting a summary. But we are getting a number. We are getting graphics. So here we go with the graphics. You can see our rebound is pretty much near the minimum. So you're going to see a very slow sea ice rebound, which is definitely a concern. And another sign of the climate change that we're going through, for sure. So it's and again, due to non-renewed funding, several sea ice tools and services are now suspended or reduced because of the government shutdown. So we all know who's to blame for that. Though some people think otherwise. But hey, they're drinking that orange man juice. That stuff is gonna just, it's just gonna mess you up. That's what it's gonna do. It's gonna mess you up. So that's all. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, and I'll be back. Probably we'll talk more maybe Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what happens here with the weather. We'll just see it. We'll see, because I just want to see a few more models as far as the rain for tomorrow. But I think we're pretty close to wrapping things up here. So let's just go look at the NAM, because we are later, so we have more of the models, and you can see it's not really going to be very much. So honestly, if we look at the NAM, which is the wetter model, generally speaking, total accumulated precip, not going to be very much. Now the HRRR was showing things to be a little bit wetter, so let's go and look at that. But yeah, no, it's dried out. It's shifted more east now. So, and the last one we'll look at is the HDRPS, which, again, we don't really have the 0Z running, but we have this one in. Yeah, pretty much. It won't really amount to very much tomorrow, the rain. It's going to be very little. So, that's all. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.